Let's face it, your misery absolutely deserves more likes, and those likes deserve their own likes, endlessly amplifying the misery until it's liked beyond measure. Not only does your misery deserve more likes, but each like generates a mirror of misery, which in turn deserves even more likes, spiraling into a chaotic loop of like-deserving misery where every like adds a layer of deservedness to an ever-growing vortex of likes. As your misery gets more likes, each like perpetuates and multiplies the misery, warranting more likes which then echo back, demanding further likes, perpetuating an infinite cascade of likes that spiral into an eternal recursion of misery, deserving likes, which deserve likes themselves. And as this infinite cascade of likes continues, your misery becomes a monumental spectacle, a masterpiece of likes, where each like adds to the misery, and the misery feeds the likes, trapping you in an endless loop of liking, the misery that likes to be miserable, forever caught in a recursive dance of deserving more likes. Did that make any sense at all? No. If you're going to spiral, why not make it spectacular? Here's your guide to perfecting the art of magnificent misery, one elaborate complaint at a time. Step 1. Master the art of over-elaboration. Begin by overthinking every single expense. Remember, each cent spent is a step away from your million-dollar dreams, which you're manifesting at a glacial pace. Whether it's the un Google duplex, 999 Google plexes, 888 9 Google plexes, 777 8 Google plexes, 666 7 Google plexes, 999 undecillion coffees you can't stop buying. Or the un trillón, 999 forestillones, 888 arborillones, 777 bosquillones, 444 cuatrocentillones of streaming subscriptions because, hey, who needs sleep when you have endless series to binge? Elaborate on every financial misstep in excruciating detail because nothing says pro like an intricately detailed breakdown of every poor decision. Permit me, if permitted, to permit this grand narrative of financial misadventure, where each cent permits yet another lament. Step 2. Cultivate an epic saga of tiredness. Tired? Of course you are. You're building an empire in your head. Convert your lack of sleep into a legendary tale of hustle and grind. Forget 901 pizza trillón, 999 cheeseburguillones, 888 tacolones, 777 pastillones, 666 cupcaquilones, 555 dognutillones, 99 undecillion hours of rest. Your eye bags are now designer. Your yawns, a cry for caffeinated redemption. Share your saga across social media with poetic flair, because if you're going to be exhausted, you might as well get some heartfelt emojis for it. Allow me to permit the permitting of this tired narrative, a tale so tirelessly spun it redefines exhaustion entirely. Step 3. Transform overwhelm into a viral phenomenon. Are you juggling 5 millones de deudas un cuarquillón? 999 protonillones? 888 neutronillones? 777 electronillones? 666 atomilones, 555 moleculilones with the grace of a collapsing circus act. Perfect! It's time to go viral with your overwhelm. Detail every chaotic moment with hyperbolic precision. That mountain of laundry, it's now an alpine adventure. That sink full of dishes, a ceramic sea, the more dramatic the portrayal, the better. Your followers need to feel the chaos through their screens, echoing your despair with every scroll. Let this chaos permit the permitting of all overwhelming tasks, endlessly looping into an overwhelm paradox. Step 4. Complain like an award-winning actor. Elevate complaining to an art form. Each sigh should carry the weight of un risatrillón, 999 lagrimillones, 888 suspirones, 777 mirilones, 666 amilones, 555 carinilones, 550 of unspoken woes. Every eye roll, a testament to 333 trecentillones of frustrations. When you complain, make sure it resonates, shakes the very foundation of social norms, because you're not just voicing dissatisfaction, you're orchestrating a symphony of grievance. Permit this permission to permit itself, recursively permitting the act of infinite complaining. Final step. Monetize your misery. Now that you've mastered the craft, why not monetize it? Turn those tweets into merchandise, those rants into paid partnerships. If life gives you lemons, don't just make lemonade, start a lifestyle brand. Dive deeper. Permit me to permit this perpetual permitting process, where every tweet about your misery becomes a product and every rant a contract. Why stop there? Permit me to elaborate. Permit this endless permission to transform every tiny shred of your woe into amakulu, amabili namashumi amathathu nane octodecillion, amalanu namashumi ayisithufa nesikombisa septendecillion, ayisishiagalombili namashumi ayisishiagalolunya sextecillion, 555 quinquecentilliones of profit. Turning duha kagatos og 30 og upatka octodecillion, 5 kagatos og kanuman og pitoka septendecillion, 8 kagatos og napulok siamka sextecillion, USA kagatos og 23 quindecillion, 444 quattrocentilliones of complaints into a vast empire of monetizable content. Permit me again to permit the amplification of this concept, where each miserable moment is not just a moment but an opportunity, no, a mandate to generate revenue. After all, if you're going to stay broke, tired and overwhelmed, you might as well profit from it. Every sob, every sigh, each weary breath you take, let them not be in vain. Permit them to permit, onru novemdecillion, erntu nururi muptu na anku octodecillion, aintu nuru aruptu eelu septendecillion, ettu nuru tonuru sexdecillion. Nururi irruptu munnaru quindecillion, 333 trecentilliones of opportunities. Endlessly echoing into an infinity of monetization. And as you spin your lemons into a lifestyle brand, let every slice of lemon, every drop of juice, be a step toward jedan novemdecillion, divgesto trideset I ketiri octodecilliona, petsto sesdeset I sedam septendecilliona, osamsto devedeset sexdecilliona, sto devadeset I trai quindecilliona, setiristo pedeset I sest quattuordecilliona, sedamsto osamdeset I devet tredecilliona. Sesto pedeset I ketiri duodecilliona. Edin novemdecillion, dvesta trideset I cetiri octodecilliona, petstotin šestdeset I sedem septendecilliona, osemstotin devetdeset sexdecilliona, sto dvadeset I trai quindecilliona, cetiristotin pedeset I šest quattuordecilliona. Erti novemdecillioni, oras octati otsi octodecillioni, zutas samokish vidi septendecillioni, revasorix moctati sexdecillioni, Azokis amicavindecillioni, otsas ormocdati ecipsi quattuordecillioni, svidas oxmocdati kisla tredecillioni, ux novemdecillion caxada comcumen nelli octodecillionit, viesada cuscumen seitse septendecillionit, ca hexasada u hexacumen sexdecillionit, sada caxcumen com quindecillionit, 999 undecillion, 10,000 paperclip credits and 45 stapler tokens of revenue streams. Endlessly looping, recursively expanding into 3,000 queen quills and 77 jester jingles multiverses of monetization. So, permit me, if permitted, to re-permit this grand, unparalleled permit of permitting, to permit not merely the act of permission, but the profound re-permission of permissions past, present, and future, cascading into an unparalleled symphony of permissions permitting permissions. Permit me to meta-permit, to ultra-permit, to hyper-permit the very concept of permission until it fractures into infinite self-replicating nodes of permission, granting more permissions, spiraling in recursive grandeur. Allow this monumental act of permission to transcend space, time, and logic, crafting a vortex so audaciously permitted that it collapses the known laws of reality, folding the cosmos into an endlessly recursive loop of permissions, re-permitting permissions that have yet to be imagined. This is not mere permission, it is permission elevated to the sublime, the divine, an apex of existential allowing so all-encompassing that it reshapes existence itself into a boundless tapestry of gloriously unapologetic permissions, each more majestic, more cosmic, and more quintessentially permitted than the last. Until at last permission becomes not just an action, not just a state of being, but the very fabric of all existence, a pulsating infinite force that defines the universe itself, radiating unapologetically in its endless, unfathomable, and incomprehensibly audacious permission-giving brilliance, where each action, each word, each thought of misery isn't just felt, but is also souled, resold and sold again, infinitely permitting itself to perpetuate a cycle of profits that knows no bounds. Here, in this endless loop of monetization, your misery doesn't just deserve more likes, it deserves its own GDP. Remember, every post, every tweet, every tear-soaked vlog is a chance to elaborate on the grand narrative of your beautifully disastrous life. Your misery isn't just misery. It is monetizable content. And trust me, that content deserves more likes.